My dad has been a very important role in my baseball career, just teaching me how to swing a baseball bat and, you know, just those countless hours of him throwing batting practice to me in my backyard. And I really can't say enough about my dad.
Albert Almora leads things off on this Father's Day weekend. We welcome you back to Wrigley Field with John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal, Matt Vasgersian. Father's Day weekend being celebrated. Kris Bryant fondly remembering the influence that his dad Mike has had on his career. And Mike took certainly a vested interest in his sons trying to get to the big leagues as a ball player himself. Mike was Red Sox property and has been Chris's greatest influence. He'll bat next as Jason Hayward stands in now with one away in a 3-2 lead last of the fifth for the Pirates. Hayward hitless so far tonight. A ball and a strike to Jason Hayward.
Well, the Pirates do something pretty cool. Speaking of fathers, they have trips planned where the fathers can go.
Rolled up the first base line for David Freese.
Go on scheduled trips, and it was going to be in early August. They take a lot of pride in just creating that atmosphere with the Pirates. And really, both these clubs, as well as the St. Louis Cardinals, have created incredible cultures. They feed off that culture, and it matters, and it breeds success, and it breeds winning. Pittsburgh has done that with their leadership council. The Cubs have done that with just everything that they do, from watching the game to hanging together, and that culture inside the clubhouse, that Taj Mahal, by the way, that they've created, has made it a fun environment. And Joe Madden has been a big part of that as well.
So here's Bryant now with two out and the bases empty. A couple of quick outs turned by Neese here in the fifth. Yeah, we talk about Chris's dad Mike playing in the Red Sox developmental system. Dwight Evans, eat your heart out. Mike Bryant with the Elmira Pioneer Red Sox, his 1980 card. And his boy has just tied it up. Oh, my. Number 16 for Bryant. And it's a 3-3 ball game.
Nobody had to move on this one, including the left fielder. This was a no doubt about it. And Bryant continuing, when his team does well and wins, if they pull out another win, that'll be home run 14 in a winning environment. Ties the game up, though, with this blast.
Anthony Rizzo hit his 16th back in the second. They are both headed to Petco Park in a month as All-Stars.
Look where this pitch is, right in the sweet spot of that bat. And the left fielder doesn't even move. And why would you at 448 feet?
There's a ball that Joyce broke the wrong way on, and he can't finish with the catch. Rizzo on his way to second. Boy, that ball really fooled Matt Joyce.
This ball had a little more carry to it than Matt Joyce first thought. Made a great effort at the end to try and catch this. He's got it in his web. But then as soon as he hits the ground, much like football, unlike football where the ground cannot cause a fumble, baseball doesn't work that way.
Yeah, Joyce took a step in, and then by the time he could recover, it was that freeze and feet don't fail me now. And now a well-timed visit to the mound by pitching coach Ray Searich, who wants to just come out and discuss things with Neese. The two-out home run by Kris Bryant And then Rizzo gets to second on what scored a double. Actually, they're going to score that as a base hit and an error.
I have to disagree.
You're right. It is a double.
And I am not changing this one.
No, it's in pen. It's already there. Yeah, scored a double. So now Ben Zobrist. Zobrist is singled in line to right. First pitch gets away. Kratz is able to recover without Bryant advancing. So it's been a little bit of everything for the Cubs tonight. The long ball has certainly played a role. Rizzo and Bryant each with their 16th. The Cubs manufactured a run on a squeeze play in the 4th. For Pittsburgh, a solo shot by Jordy Mercer. And then RBIs by McCutchen. And an RBI hit batsman play with Jordy Mercer being credited with the run batted in.
One thing Nice has done a great job in this situation. 2 outs and runners in scoring position coming into this game. .091 batting average.
Two and one.
One thing that'll drive a pitcher crazy is if 2 outs, you give up those 2-out runs. You know you're going to give up some, but you hope to not give up many because they're backbreakers mentally when you're out there dealing to a really good offense like the Cubs. Not to mention when a ball is hit in the air and you anticipate it being out, to see the reverse scenario play out, meaning that it's a double, you got to refocus and regrind to Zobrist.
The 3-1 home ball fourth. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Pepsi. Tell the world how you feel and what you love with Pepsi emojis. Say it with Pepsi. 2-out home run, a double, and now a base on balls has made for a bit of a sticky situation for Jonathan Nice as he'll go back to work on Javier Baez, who has doubled, reached on a fielder's choice, stolen a base, and scored.
I want you to watch Baez as he sees this ball and fouls it off. Watch the action of his bat and barrel. His leg is one of the things that we talked about getting down, but it's the hands and the action of that barrel that has a little bit of a wiggle at the end. Anything with a good pitch or movement creates problem for Baez.
My back hurts just watching him swing.
Well, he has tremendous power, but as we watch this replay, watch the hands, okay? His bat's at a parallel. He goes up, then the last movement. Watch that wiggle right there. And that little extra movement. Now, when a pitch is fat, he gets away with it, and he can crush it. But when it has any kind of velocity or movement, now he's all in athleticism. That creates a little bit of problem because now you don't exactly catch up to those pitches. So when a pitch is over the middle of the plate, if I were the Pirates, I would feed off his aggressiveness with something slow right here, which they did. A curveball, and he fouls it off the third base side. But a changeup will give him problems. A ball up will give him problems. You just can't afford to make a bad pitch with a guy with this much power. You see the wiggle of the bat, his hands go back, and then the ball was not far enough down for him to swing over the top of it.
Well, when Baez first arrived, the comparison that you were almost obligated to make was to Gary Sheffield.
Right.
The torque, the active bat, that wraparound Julio Franco style finish. A ball and 2 strikes, first and second with 2 gone. And there's a swing and a miss. Kratz will finish with the throw to the bag. Side is retired, not before Chris Bryant can tie it back up. The reigning National League Rookie of the Year gets a hold of his 16th of the season. The Pirates and Cubs all even at 3.
New. What happened to you? Slapped on every package? Thrown on every label? Oh, how how the new have fallen. So what would happen if we stopped looking for new and started asking for better? This. The 2017 Hyundai Elantra with smartwatch connectivity. Not just new, better.
I stand alone in my day and age. The storm is coming, it's about to rage. I'm telling you, you can't stop.
Not just anyone can pitch like All-Star Jacob deGrom, but anyone could save money with Geico. Geico. See how much you could save.
Lieutenant Colonel Cooks, handwriting by the book. Oh, herbs and spices, the hard way is the way. Home-cooked family meal, prepared for you. Delicious fresh whole chicken. No mistakes, no mistakes. That's right, the Colonel's back. What's up, chickens? Cooks on track. Their chicken is flying free. Colonel quality guaranteed.
Oh, thank goodness. They've been to Lowe's. Lowe's plants are always grown for your area, so they're guaranteed to thrive in your garden for 1 whole year. So, instead of these plants shriveling and dying at the hands of these two, they'll get the distinct pleasure of observing this fine figure all year long. Drink it in, plants. I woke up like this.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Lowe's and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. To the top of the 6th inning for the bottom third of the Pirates order in a 3-3 game. Rodriguez, Kratz, and then the pitcher's spot here against John Lester, who has watched his offense come back and support him after trailing 3-1. They chipped away for 1 in the 4th on a squeeze play and tie it on Chris Bryant's home run last half inning. 0-2 the count to Sean Rodriguez. A ball and 2 strikes.
Lester is one of the rare guys this year where as each at bat happens, the opponent's batting average goes down. We hear all the time analytics about the averages when the 3rd and 4th at bats come around, time to take your starting pitcher out of the game. But Lester's in such a groove that each number has gone down as the at bats go down. This has been a grind of a game. This is not a typical game where John Lester's been in control from the very beginning. He has struggled with command and certain calls on the strike zone. So if he can get through this inning, that would be a blessing for the Chicago Cubs, as they might very well turn to their bullpen after this.
Pitcher due to hit 3rd in the bottom half of the 6th, and the pitch to Rodriguez is again fouled away. Well, when you look at John Lester's numbers, there's really not a fatal flaw to be found. He's been stingy to right-handers. He's always tough on left-handed hitters. He's been amazing with runners in scoring position. He's stranded a small village tonight. 2-2 to Rodriguez. And as all the Cubs starters have, John Lester has benefited from terrific run support on the other side of the scorecard. Gets back to that run differential number we talked about earlier. Rodriguez on the ground to the left side, smothered by Baez. He gets it with a fine play.
That's a wow. That's why he's playing third base when John Lester pitches. Not only does he have a strong arm, but the accuracy off of his knees.
Javier Baez is having a pretty good night. Here's Eric Kratz now 0 for 2 tonight. He'll offer at the first pitch and send a flare out to shallow center. Almora has it, and there are 2 away. Kenny, we made the point that with that big run differential story, most of the Cubs starters have benefited from great support this year.
No question, Matt. And talking to John Lester yesterday, he said the success of the Cubs rotation is partly due to the strength of the team's offense. And tonight's a classic example. Comes into this inning with 90 pitches, but he knows if he can just keep the score close as he has, the offense has a chance to rally. And listen to these numbers. Arrieta leads the National League in run support. John Lackey is 6th. Jason Hamill 8th. Lester 19th.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
You bet. The fact that Jake Arrieta leads the league in run support, that's almost not fair. A ball and a strike to count to Jonathan Neese.
Well, think about the stress it puts on the opposing pitcher as well. When you're facing guys like this, you know you can't make mistakes. You try to pitch perfect, and the next thing you know, you're giving up more runs than you want to because the other guy on the hill. And it's funny because you never really pitch against them unless they're at the plate. But you know that when a pitcher is as hot and a staff as hot as Chicago, you go into the game going, my room for error is very little. I don't want to give them any runs.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Well, consider this. The White Sox lost in Cleveland tonight 13-2, and it was another dreadful start for James Shields. James Shields has allowed more earned runs in his last 4 outings than Jake Arrieta in his last 26 regular season starts. And Arrieta's getting 6 runs a game in support of his stinginess. Add all that together and it spells Cy Young Award. I mean, Clayton Kershaw is going to have something to say about that. We're going to talk about it the same way we did last year with those 2 guys being the top 2 vote getters in some capacity. Put a Quinella box around it and you'll have the right answer there somehow. It's a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Neese. 2 gone, bases empty. And it's wrapped softly to first. Rizzo shovels to Lester, the second 1-2-3 inning of the game for the 3-time All-Star. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, still tied at 3.
Viagra single packs. So guys with ED can take Viagra when they need it.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension. Your blood pressure could drop to an unsafe level. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra single packs.
Get up, get on up, get up, get on up, get up, get on up.
We sent 2 women into a real guy's night out to see if they could find the guy who uses Just for Men.
It's me.
No way. Just for Men gives you a natural gray-free look. Just lather in just 5 minutes. Great looking hair made easy. Just for Men.
T-Mobile hit it out of the park. We doubled our LTE coverage to cover over 305 million Americans. And our new extended range LTE goes 2 times farther and works 4 times better in buildings than before. Switch to T-Mobile for major league coverage today.
This is the heart of the Kansas City Royals. As individual players, they're pretty special. As a team, they're World Series champs.
What we see? Lay down.
They're like family. And every family needs family photos.
Wow.
The Midsummer Classic, the National League led by Bryce Harper, Clayton Kershaw, and a bunch of Cubs. But the AL boasts two-time All-Star MVP Mike Trout. Watch the 87th All-Star Game July 12th from San Diego, only on Fox. John Neese back to work in a 3-3 game last of the 6th. Back with Hall of Famer John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal, Matt Vasgersian. Bottom of the Cubs order here. Addison Russell, David Ross, and John Lester scheduled.
Well, you were talking about some of those numbers and Clayton Kershaw and Jake Arrieta. First of all, that's the best stretch of pitching I think I've ever seen in my lifetime. But I got to give the nod still to Clayton Kershaw for what he has been able to do in his body of work consistently. I ran across a number since 2013. The best ERAs in the game, you would think they would be relievers, and you would be right.
Except
Clayton Kershaw is right there in the mix. Mark Melancon has a 1.84 ERA since 2013, second best to Kimbrel's 1.81, and Kershaw at 1.87, and he's a starter. So put that in the mix to think about what he's done the last 3 years, not to take anything away from Jake Arrieta. Fantastic 2-year or year-and-a-half stretch. I just can't get over that.
I mean, there's no wrong answer there in terms of who's going to start the All-Star game, and that's going to be up to Terry Collins after a series of conversations he has with managers and coaches. David Ross with an 0-1 count here, one away, bases empty. And Noah Syndergaard will probably be in the conversation somehow, and a lot of it, as you know, John, is going to come down to who's available, who is being asked to not work, and there will be a handful of those guys.
And each league's going to have a different way to get it done, meaning it's all about the starters in the National League. You've got some great closers, but it's all about the starters. In the American League, it's all about the relief. The studs that they have with the Yankees and the Royals and the relievers that are having years that they're having. So you're looking at two ways that each team's going to try to get it done come All-Star game. I don't really care if you take the top 6 starters in the National League. You can put them in a bag and pull them out, and you do not have a wrong answer. That's how good, and the depth. And there's going to be some that have multiple, could be double-digit wins that don't make the team.
2 balls and 2 strikes to David Ross. Well, both of the managers here today, Clint Hurdle and Joe Madden, have had opportunities to manage All-Star games. Three and 2 now to Ross, and it's an exercise in diplomacy, as each told us before the game. There aren't any real magic secrets to it. Try to do your best to make sure everybody gets into the game. That's less true now than it was 20 years ago, before home field advantage was dependent on the outcome. But I think both managers here, because there's a pennant race to be had, will be eager to get 4 days off. Again, no wrong answer on this page. Strasburg undefeated. Madison Bumgarner, always a good candidate. Noah Syndergaard's been brilliant this year. David Ross puts a charge in a ball to deep left field. And gone! Here comes Clint Hurdle, and that'll be all for Jonathan Neese.
Telling you, Jonathan Neese was one hitter away from escaping this scenario. It looked like he was only going to face David Ross. Pinch hitter on deck. Now he's in line for the loss.
The Cubs lead for the first time tonight. David Ross gets a hero's ovation as the Pittsburgh starter departs. A pitching change, our first of the night. We'll be right back.
Lieutenant Colonel Cooks and breading by the book. Oh, herbs and spices, herbs herbs and spice. The hard way is the way. Home cooked family meal prepared for you. Delicious fresh whole chicken. No mistakes, no mistakes. That's right, the cook goes back. What's that Penny's cooks on track. Their chicken is flying free. Good quality guaranteed.
For activewear from $5 and up to 50% off the entire store.
Hey, Troy.
Hello.
So, thanks for testing our new car service today.
Oh, no problem.
This is the nicest ride-sharing service I've ever been in.
I'm so comfortable. I could take a nap right now.
So, our rates are a little bit different.
Okay.
We charge by the amount of gas consumed.
Oh.
Since we traveled 4.43 miles, and this Chevy Malibu offers an EPA estimated 47 miles per gallon city, your total is 20 cents.
No way. I can afford that.
23 cents.
Do you have a quarter?
The all-new 2016 Chevy Malibu Hybrid.
It's just so smart.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Some changes after the home run that knocks Jonathan Neese from the mix. A pinch hitter. He is the veteran left-handed batter, and Cubs returnee Chris Coughlin, who on the first pitch from Jared Hughes sends a line shot out to left, handled on a nice catch by Matt Joyce. Continuing the theme of first pitch swings before we can even get a chance to profile the new Pittsburgh right-hander Jared Hughes.
He's a bigger guy with a little dip in his mechanics, so he pitches smaller than his height. His front side and lower arm action, fastball at around 90 miles an hour, and slider, he'll sweep it at 83. Any trouble he gets at times, he gets on the side of the baseball, which flattens it out.
Back to the top of the order now, Albert Almora. Almora came on early. Dexter Fowler started the night in center field and then pulled up injured as he tried to beat out what he had hoped was an infield base hit early on the dreaded day-to-day list.
Almora
what they hope is just a hamstring strain.
Sorry, Matt. Almora is a quieter version of Baez when you look at the stance and the delivery of which he's trying to put the bat through the zone. And closes up.
And a chopper to shortstop. Mercer gets him, and Hughes quiets things down in the sixth. Well, the Cubs have played some small ball tonight with a squeeze play, and they've also brought out the big lumber. Solo shots by Rizzo, Bryant, and Ross spell a 4-3 Cubs lead.
U.S. Open continues tomorrow on FS1 and Fox.
Some things are simply impossible to ignore. The strikingly designed Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid, the SUV that dares to go beyond utility. Lease the 2016 NX Turbo for $329 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Do you love old trucks? With over 60 vintage trucks on display, the Iowa 80 Trucking Museum in Walcott's like an indoor truck show all the time. Rare and unique trucks, some literally one of a kind, the only ones in existence. Vintage toy trucks, as well as gas and oil signs everywhere. We can do group tours too. The Iowa 80 Trucking Museum, just one of the many attractions you'll find next to the world's largest truck stop in Walcott, Iowa. Find out more at iowa80truckingmuseum.com.
Dogs are always welcome in Wisconsin, and if they want, they can bring their people too.
Your full-course auto source, greenfamilyauto.com. 3 dealers with 800 pre-driven vehicles. greenfamilyauto.com.
Get our exclusive Green Care. Take all the worry out of your pre-driven purchase, and it's free with our 2-year, 24,000-mile maintenance program, including oil changes and tire rotation.
With a few clicks, find 200 vehicles under $15,000. Plus, bring it back in 3 days. If you don't like it for any reason, we'll exchange it. Come see our family at your full-course auto source.
Just a click away at greenfamilyauto.com.
Don't forget, we buy from you even if you don't buy from us.
A full hour of The Big Bang Theory, weeknights at 6 on Fox 18.
David Ross having a pretty good night. A big caught stealing. He drove in a run with a squeeze and has homered. And now he's receiving a new pitcher as the Cubs go to the bullpen for the first time tonight. John Lester done after 6, in line for a win should the score hold. Pedro Strop and company will be responsible for that. Strop making his 30th appearance of the year and quickly out in front of Jordy Mercer, 0-2.
He's got a herky-jerky kind of arm action, but when he's good, he's good. Fastball has some electric life to it, and you saw the slider right there.
And he makes quick work of Jordy Mercer. Time for a game break. Let's check in with Chris Myers back in our LA studios.
And Steven Matz left with a 1-run lead after 6, but in the 7th, Tyler Flowers off Jim Henderson with a game-tying homer. That's a 3-3 game now as they play on the bottom of the 7th. Let's go back to John and Matt.
Chris, thanks. We didn't really have a chance to chat about that one earlier today as Josh Harrison steps in now with 1 away and the base is empty. There's a little crisis there at Citi Field in Flushing, Queens. They've lost 11-19. It's been a vanishing offensive attack, and they're having the same kind of discussion around this year's Mets as they were this time last year, pre-Yoenis Cespedes acquisition.
Break up the Braves. That's like a 3 or 4 game winning streak they've had. But yeah, the Mets are dealing with something offensively around the same time last year where their offense went south. Their pitching kept them in games.
Harrison rolls one out to third. Baez on it quickly. And there are 2 gone in the 7th.
I can see why he loves him at third base. Tremendous hands, great feet. And gets rid of the ball with a firm throw. You see how quickly he reacts to that ball? He's not on the balls of his feet. He's not sitting back. And that's a man that knows the infield well, and good work around the bag for Rizzo, avoiding Harrison as he comes flying down the line.
Two gone, bases empty now for Andrew McCutchen, who has walked, singled, stolen a base, and driven in a run tonight. You know, it's worth circling back on a few of the numbers that we threw out earlier. The Cubs with great success in games that they've scored 4 or more runs, 41-3, as you mentioned. And there's another streak tonight that the Cubs would like to hold, and that's the stretch of 20 consecutive starts having allowed 3 earned runs or fewer, and that one will hold because that's a starting pitching number.
Yep, they continue that stretch.
So 21 consecutive games with a starter allowing 3 or fewer. McCutchen into the shift. Zobrist at him, played in exactly the right spot to make for a 1-2-3 top of the 7th. They're up and stretching at Wrigley. 4-3 Chicago.
Ever wonder where the wind comes from? Why the earth shakes?
Oh my.
Or where dreams are made?
Who are you?
A big friendly giant from Disney.
The other giants, are they nice? Like you're nice?
Or sorry to say, no. And director Steven Spielberg.
We have to stop them. I have a plan.
Hold your breath, here we go. The BFG, July 1st, rated PG.
Introducing new Mist Twist, the only lemon lime soda with a twist of real juice. It's a crisp, refreshing twist on lemon lime.
Let's twist.
Insist on the twist.
Let's twist.
T-Mobile hit it out of the park. We doubled our LTE coverage to cover over 305 million Americans. And our new extended range LTE goes 2 times farther and works 4 times better in buildings than before. Switch to T-Mobile for major league coverage today.
You know, we said we'd take a look at our retirement plan today.
Not now. Cleaning the oven.
Yeah, I'm cleaning the gutters.
Washing the dog.
Washing the cat.
Well, I'm learning Snap Champ. Chat.
Changing the oil.
It's surprising what people would rather do than deal with retirement.
Pressure washing that roses.
Aerating the lawn.
Though with Nationwide, it's no big deal.
Okay, your retirement plan is all set.
Nationwide. Awesome.
Nice neighborhood.
Nationwide is on your side.
7th inning stretch. Hey, yesterday Pearl Jam frontman Eddie Vedder sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" here at Wrigley. In fact, you can hear it now. And then played last night for the Hot Stove Cool Music charity concert, which benefited the Foundation to be named later organization founded by Cubs president of operations Theo Epstein and his twin brother Paul. A great night apparently, and a lot of baseball and music celebrities showed up. Peter Gammons was there jamming on stage. The TV voice of the Cubs, Len Casper, was there. In fact, concerts at Summer Wrigley have been a resounding success the last few years, and more of them to come, as you can see. Jason Hayward leads things off in the home half of the 7th. Jared Hughes continues on the mound out of the Bucks bullpen. Hayward, Bryant, and Rizzo here for Chicago. Jason 0 for 3 so far tonight. And falling behind a ball and 2 strikes.
Jason has gotten off to a slow start. Of course, the big contract. Everyone knows about his defense. Got to get the hitting underway. But his batting average, which is kind of a reverse split, before the 7th inning has not been very good. But after the 7th inning, it's actually a lot higher when that would be tougher to hit in today's game.
And that one hits him. So Hayward draws a base to lead off the inning.
See the slider right there. Another off the toe.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by the Lincoln Motor Company and the exhilarating new Lincoln MKZ. And by T-Mobile, bringing you greater coverage of today's game. Leadoff hitter aboard now for Chris Bryant, who has walked and homered tonight. So we talk about David Ross having a big day. Javier Baez having a nice night. Same can be said of a guy who yesterday was unavailable because of a flu-like virus. Had a stomach bug.
You better throw a slider first pitch is all I know. Give a lot of pitchers the flu-like symptoms when he's up there hitting fastballs.
Middle of the order has really done the heavy lifting tonight for the Cubs. Through the first 5 innings tonight, they were 4 for 7. Rest of the lineup was just 1 for 11 tonight. That was before Ross's home run. And there they are, their quote-unquote big 3 of Bryant, Rizzo, and Zobrist. They have all contributed.
We talked about Rizzo heating up since June 1st. He has not disappointed. Bryant should have, or thought he had 2 home runs tonight. The Wind got the first one.
There goes Hayward, had a huge jump. The Cubs will stay out of the double play as Bryant is retired at first.
It's the hardest thing for a hitter to do when his teammate is stealing and he's easily got the bag. You don't know that. You have such a split second to decide what to do. And you see the runner going and you have to protect that bat. You feel like sometimes you got to put it in play. Huge jump, as you mentioned.
So now back to Anthony Rizzo, who has homered and doubled tonight. Jared Hughes entered in relief of the starter Jonathan Neese. This will be the second time that the Pirates have issued an intentional walk tonight. They'll put Rizzo on base and they'll choose Ben Zobrist as a left-handed hitter. It's really a pick your poison when you have a switch hitter like Ben Zobrist protecting Bryant and Rizzo. It makes it awfully hard to game plan, but the Pirates have made their choice here. They don't want to mess with Rizzo's power, and he'll be passed intentionally. And there's ball four. It is likely both Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo are headed to San Diego as All-Stars this year. In fact, baseball's two biggest summer events back-to-back. The T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 11th at 8. And then the very next night, don't miss baseball's biggest stars, the 87th annual All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 12th on Fox. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern. And yes, there will be a lot of Cubs represented in San Diego. It's kind of a nice story for the two guys on the corner. Chris Bryant played his college ball in San Diego, and Anthony Rizzo was a Padre for a brief time before being traded over here to Chicago in exchange for Andrew Kashner. A homecoming of sorts for both.
Well, there's only one there that probably does not deserve to start, even though the fans have spoken here in Chicago. And that would be Addison Russell, because Corey Seager's having a monster season. And Russell is not having the type of season to start shortstop, but not to say that he won't be in the All-Star conversation many, many more times after this year.
And I think, you know, so long as the fans have a say in this, and we'd all agree that that is a nice part of the event, it will be a popularity contest until further notice. I mean, last year, Omar Infante wasn't even playing. He was hitting under 200. And he was the leading vote getter at second base for the longest time. It was a Royals resurgence last year. They sent a lot of Royals to the All-Star game. Same set of the Cubs this year.
I wonder if somebody reached out at Kansas City area and say, hey, how do you beat the system here? What do you do?
It's the trappings of success, right?
Yep, yep.
Everybody's been swept up in this great run by the Cubs. And it's 2 balls and a strike to Ben Zobrist, who's been an All-Star twice in his career. Zobrist has been on base twice tonight. As you look at Javi Baez on deck, he started play with the 4th highest on-base percentage in all of baseball.
He's definitely not a free swinger. Patient, looking for a pitch to hit, and in his zone, as we mentioned, he takes a lot of pitches. I want you to watch Rizzo as he's leading off. No threat of the guy at first getting behind him. He's only watching one thing, and he's going to watch Hayward as he gets in position and looking right at Hayward to see what he's doing, and then right to the hitter.
And it's 3 balls and a strike now. Neftali Feliz continues to throw in the Pirates bullpen. This is still just a 1-run game, and Pittsburgh doesn't want to let it get out of hand here late.
So the 2 guys leading off.
Hayward and Zobrist aboard. The 3-1 home is ball 4. That loads the bases with one away. So with Javier Baez due up, it's time for greater coverage of baseball, sponsored by T-Mobile. Joe Maddon calls him his Swiss Army knife. And the Swiss Army knife was a big part of that run that they manufactured to make it a 3-2 game. He's had a great night defensively. Javier Baez has been a very valuable member of Joe Maddon's lineup tonight. That's going to be all for Jared Hughes. A hit batsman, an intentional walk, and then a base on balls has loaded him as Neftali Feliz steps in from the Pirates bullpen.
New. What happened to you? Slapped on every package? Thrown on every label? Oh, how the new have fallen. So what would happen if we stopped looking for new and started asking for better? This. The 2017 Hyundai Elantra with smartwatch connectivity. Not just new, better.
Viagra single packs. So guys with ED can take Viagra when they need it.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension. Your blood pressure could drop to an unsafe level. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra single packs.
Lieutenant Colonel Cooks, handwriting by the book. Oh, herbs and spices, herbs and spices. The hard way is the way. Home cooked family meal, prepared for you. Delicious fresh whole chicken. No mistakes, no mistakes. That's right, the Colonel's back. What's that big? Cooks on track. Their chicken is flying free. Colonel quality guaranteed.
It's time to meet the All-Stars.
It's a magical night. The best of the best are here.
Budweiser game summary. The night got off to a bad start for Joe Maddon. He lost his leadoff hitter after the bottom of the first inning as Dexter Fowler left with a hamstring injury. A home run by Jordy Mercer started things in good shape for Pittsburgh, but the Cubs have come back on the power of 3 home runs. By the way, Chicago is 10-0 when they homer 3 or more times this year. And the bases are loaded for Javi Baez as he's the first to face the new pitcher. Former Rangers closer Neftali Feliz takes over in a tight spot.
Neftali Feliz still has a pretty good arm. Fastball command. He'll throw 94 miles an hour in sliders.
Cubs have loaded the bases without the benefit of a base hit here, and it's a ball and strike to Javi Baez.
Neftali Feliz for the Rangers, thinking about so close to winning a World Series. One pitch twice away from locking it down, and the miracle comeback for the Cardinals, and then the injuries for Neftali after that, working his way back now with the Pirates.
1-1, sharply hit on the ground is shortstop. Mercer to Harrison, back to Freeze. Neftali Feliz keeps it a 1-run game. To the 8th, still 4-3 Chicago.
Oh my God, Mary, did you see the all-new Chrysler Pacifica? I heard it has stow-and-go seating. Whoever drives it must be really handsome and a hunk. Let's get some fro-yo.
Really?
Why don't we also go and get some salads, Cobb salads? That's what a dad brand's about.
Right now, get a low-mileage lease on the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica for $269 a month.
She could be my little freckle-faced fidgeter.
Me but miniature, sleeping on the sofa till she tackles and I take a little whisperer. I could be your listener, telling me your stories while I'm showing her a signature to scribbler.
The Bud Light Party believes in change. That's why Bud Light has a new look. And we want to share it with everyone. Jackpot! Still the same refreshing Bud Light with a new look.
Did you hear something? Armani Code Profumo, the new intensity, Giorgio Armani. Only at Macy's, your fragrance destination.
We sent 2 women into a real guy's night out to see if they could find the guy who uses Just for Men.
It's me.
No way.
Just for Men gives you a natural gray-free look. Just lather in just 5 minutes. Great-looking hair made easy. Just for Men.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Red Gertz.
Sorry, I was eating a Milky Way.
Vote today, vote tomorrow. Vote for your 2016 All-Stars with the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Vote at MLB.com/vote and catch all the excitement of the 87th Annual All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 12th right here on Fox. Pedro Strop back to work, and he will face the middle of the Pirates order in the top of the 8th, rather. That's Jung-Ho Kang, David Freese, and Matt Joyce.
Just got away with a hanging slider right there that backed up. Kang would like to have that back.
Strop worked a scoreless top of the 7th inning and is now in front of Jung-Ho Kang, a ball and 2 strikes. One of the 2 left-handers in the Cubs bullpen is up. Two balls and 2 strikes. You know, granted, the Pirates had to deal with Arrieta last night and John Lester tonight, but there have been some self-inflicted wounds along the way. Kang lays off a tough 2-2 pitch.
Yeah, we got a little flinch right here. Home plate umpire, watch the flinch. And they didn't call it.
And he takes advantage of that next life and singles into center. Let's check in with Chris Myers with a game break.
And Matt, you earlier mentioned the Mets' problems. 8th inning, Braves and Mets tied. Addison Reed pitching to Tyler Flowers with runners at first and third. It gets away, and Ender Inciarte scores. Atlanta leads 4-3. Braves trying for their 4th straight win. Back to John Smoltz and Matt Viskers.
How about those Braves? Wow.
Here's this last pitch, a slider over the middle of the plate right there. But the pitch before that is the one that the Cubs and Strop would like to have back, because that could have been strike 3. And you see it a lot when you give a hitter an extra chance, or you have to think differently as a pitcher. Can't give him 4 strikes.
0-1 pitch to David Freese is wrapped at third. Baez will have only 1 play, and he's got to get it to first in a hurry. Boy, does Anthony Rizzo have some sweet feet on the receiving end. He's really had to dance to finish some of those tough throws tonight.
I mean, this is a highlight reel on just a couple plays he's made. The degree of difficulty right here is off the charts. He's got to get an in-betweener that hits the dirt and then throw off balance. And then Rizzo, of course, takes it and avoids the runner again. Madden to make a move. But what a move by Baez.
Pitching change as Travis Wood is summoned to try to get Matt Joyce out with the tying run in scoring position and only 1 away. We'll be right back.
$5 and up to 50% off the entire store.
This is our point of view. If there's an SUV, make it one of the best in its class. Awarded a Consumer Guide Best Buy Award. This is the 279 horsepower Acura RDX. And this is how we make it.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the RDX.
The Bud Light party believes in change. That's why Bud Light has a new look. And we want to share it with everyone. Jackpot! Still the same refreshing Bud Light with a new look.
Honey, did you call the insurance company?
Not yet. I'm folding laundry. Can you?
No, cleaning the windows.
Well, the living room's a disaster.
You should see the bathroom.
Most insurance companies give you every reason to avoid them.
I'm looking for my keys.
Plants need planting.
Well, the leaves aren't going to rake themselves.
Nationwide is different.
Hon, did you call Nationwide to check on our claim?
We put members first.
Actually, they called me.
Nationwide is on your side.
Father's Day weekend here at Wrigley Field as the game celebrates fathers, sons, and daughters everywhere. David Ross, for one, enjoying the trappings of Father's Day weekend. A couple of RBIs, one coming on a home run, the other on a squeeze play. He's played great defensively tonight as well. And he is receiving a new pitcher to try to keep that one-run Cubs lead as Travis Wood takes over on the mound. A runner at second and one gone. A couple of changes. First, Travis Wood making his 33rd appearance of the season tonight.
Travis Wood, a converted starter, pretty good hitter, by the way. He has been a valuable commodity in the bullpen for Joe Madden. Not afraid to use a few pitchers to get through an inning to set it up for his closer. That's what he's hoping to do here.
So the changes after the pitcher Wood, you saw the pinch runner Starling Marte taking over for Jung Ho Kang. And a pinch hitter as well as Jason Rogers bats in Matt Joyce's spot in the order. Clint Hurdle going to some matchup options here. Rogers was just called up today from AAA, where he had been hitting .286 with 4 home runs in 45 games. This is his second call up to the major league level this year. And he takes a strike to fall behind 0-2.
I don't know how much Travis Wood knows of Rogers, but it's going right at him. 0-2.
Marte, the tying run in scoring position with one gone. And a swing and a miss. Two away in the 8th.
One and done for Mr. Wood. And a good job there. 3 straight fastballs. 2 looking, 1 swinging. I say one and done. I'm assuming that Madden's going to take the ball, and he does.
Took a moment. Wanted to give Hector Rondon a little extra time, and that'll be the matchup when we return. Tying run in scoring position, 2 away. We'll be right back.
When you were 8, you wanted to fly. When you were 13, to be a rock star. At 20, an artist. All these years later, you realize you had it right the first time. The 400 horsepower Q50 from Infiniti.
What? I can pour this champagne on my phone and it still work. What? Yeah, look.
Kenny, I'm about to put you in a fish tank.
What? That's crazy.
Your phone can't do that, Max. Here, I have another.
The new water-resistant Galaxy S7 Edge.
Coverage of the 116th U.S. Open Championship from historic Oakmont Country Club continues tomorrow as they finish third-round play at 7 a.m. Eastern on FS1. Then it's final round coverage starting at 11 a.m. Eastern on Fox, or you can watch it all on Fox Sports Go. The weather tonight, Shane Lowry at 5 under through 14. We'll finish out the third round tomorrow and then go at it as scheduled. Well, the big situation here as Hector Rondon is summoned for what will likely be a 4-out save opportunity. He has recorded 11 saves this year in 13 opportunities. He's got the tying run at second with 2 gone in the 8th. And he buckles Sean Rodriguez to get in front 0-1.
Well, the Cubs just don't play a lot of close games, so you can imagine the workload for the bullpen has not been a high stress level. So this is a great opportunity to get your closer in for a 4-out save.
Rodriguez lifts a fly ball into shallow right for Jason Hayward. 2 pitches, threat extinguished. To the bottom of the 8th, still 4-3 Chicago.
6 seconds on the clock, tied at 9-5.
My man, Dwayne Wade. You got this. You cool.
Cool like a penguin in a tank top.
Cool like a convertible with a snowplow.
Like a streaker at a hockey game.
Like a finger rolled in Tupperware.
Cool like a Yeti eating frozen spaghetti.
The cool, crisp flavor of Gatorade Frost. Play cool.
Buy an eligible Galaxy device and get a free Gear VR virtual reality headset.
What are you doing?
Sarah, I love you.
No, my brother. Keep going.
Sarah, were you married?
What do you want, Todd? Keep it going!
If you sit on your phone, you butt dial people. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
I know we just met like 2 months ago.
Brace yourself. The first ever GSF is here. With a 467 horsepower V8 engine, torque vectoring differential, and Brembo brakes. It's the next expression of F performance from Lexus.
Well, for a team trying to extend its lead in the NL Central to 11.5 games over St. Louis, it's hard to try to curb your enthusiasm, pardon the pun. The outstanding HBO comedy coming back for another season, possibly with Joe Madden involved. Jeff Garlin, who stars in the show and also is one of the producers and writers, has extended an offer to Joe Madden to appear in the upcoming season.
And here I thought we were going to be Cubbier enthusiasm, but we went with the...
See?
We did go with the curve. Huh?
Yeah, your idea might have been better. Yeah, an 11-game lead currently. St. Louis was a loser today. And if the Cubs can finish business, it would be an 11.5-game lead in the NL Central. It's such an important night for the Pirates to try to snatch one back that Mark Melancon will appear in a decided non-save situation, making his 30th appearance of the year, likely headed to San Diego as an all-star. He's been outstanding this year, as those numbers would attest. But Clint Hurdle wants to keep this deficit right here to give his team a chance in the ninth. Bottom of the 8th inning, Addison Russell leads things off for Chicago.
He's got 3 outstanding pitches, 2 that he relies on, that cutter right there and a knuckle curveball. He'll throw that cutter into a right-hander and try to freeze him, and he'll do the same away to a left-hander and throw that knuckle curveball, which has a 12-6 break. And there's the inside cutter. That's become the new pitch for right-handers. Makes it difficult on right-handed hitters to hang in there. There's that cut. You see the spin. The ball's going to start in, and then the hitter has to anticipate that break.
Melanson comes in to work this inning. A number of changes for the Pirates here. There's a new third baseman. We'll start with that. David Freese moves across the diamond to his natural position, if you will. And he just threw it to the new first baseman, John Jaso, who enters late. Starling Marte takes over in left after pinch running last half inning. And that sets the new look for the Pirates here in the last of the 8th. So now David Ross, who gets a nice round of applause, and why not? He's had a great night. A homer. He's driven in a run on a squeeze play. Had a big caught stealing. And did his best to finesse John Lester through 6 difficult innings tonight.
He definitely did, and he has made it known this was going to be his last year. I don't know. You talk about Big Papi and everything, but I might think the Cubs would try to find a way to convince him to have one more year. I know they got a young, promising catcher they just called up. Montero is also here. But he has done an unbelievable job just handling the staff, especially John Lester, for providing that veteran leadership.
Behind here, 1-2.
Speaking of David Ortiz and retirement, holy cow. I still think he's going to retire, but what an unbelievable year he's having in his final season.
Going out with a bang. The American League's leading vote getter for the All-Star game. Still 1-2 to David Ross. There are a lot of stars on the field every night in baseball, and I've contended for a while that David Ortiz is he's the last true rock star that we have,
no doubt,
in our game. On par with Derek Jeter, with some of the all-time greats.
Got a puppet.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count to David Ross. Well, the David Ross farewell tour isn't going to generate the kind of headlines that David Ortiz is, but it's certainly appreciated here. And for a guy that, let's face it, hasn't been a Cub for very long. The 2-2 to Ross. He again sticks around with a foul ball.
See many guys in the game with gray in the beard, gray in the hair. It's turned into a young man's game, and certainly it's some great young players that we have in our game, but David Ross at his position holds his value for what he was able to do coming here, and obviously this year as well.
And he draws it full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just to do what it takes to get back there, even if he does only catch John Lester, and it's more than that.
Right.
But to strap it on 2 out of every 5 starts the way he does at the age of almost 40, 15 years in the game. Here's the 3-2 from Melanson, and he loses him on ball 4. It's time for the Gatorade Frost cool under pressure moment, and it came courtesy of David Ross. His 5th home run of the year. It stands as the difference. The solo shot in the last of the 6th. Again, he also had the squeeze bunt RBI and a big caught stealing at third base.
And as a former starting pitcher, I cannot tell you the feeling that he created for John Lester, giving him a potential win with that home run.
Well, the round of applause that you hear here is for Hector Rondon, and a rare plate appearance for a closer. Not a lot of numbers to speak of. In fact, before this moment, no at-bats. This is his first career opportunity to swing the bat, or bunt, or miss. A ball and a strike.
As a closer, you don't get too many of these opportunities unless you're pressed into more than one inning.
Joe Madden wants him to finish out the game in the ninth, batting in his turn in the order. And now behind a ball and 2 strikes.
It's not the prototypical way that you would get a bunt down. He's got his feet moving. He looks a little anxious in the box. He's just trying to avoid anything that would prevent him from going back out to the inning and nailing this win down for John Lester.
When you count in his minor league time, Hector Rondon has never had a professional plate appearance. And Melanson wants to think about it. The way Rondon is digging in with his feet moving around at the box, it's as though he's anticipating like a spin move from a guy rushing the quarterback.
It's just, you know, he doesn't and hasn't been in the box before, so he's he's ready with his feet.
And he bunts it foul. So Rondon strikes out, and there are 2 away now for the top of the order. This is a guy that's been pitching professionally, and the minor leagues do count as professional service time, by the way, since 2006. So a decade in pro ball, and he finally had a chance to dig in there. Or dance in there. And back to the top of the order now, Albert Almora. Three hits last night for Almora as a starter. He was pressed into duty today early after Dexter Fowler was removed with the hamstring injury in the first, and is without a base hit so far tonight. Slaps one to the right side. Harrison ranges to make the play. And we go to the top of the ninth, still a 1-run ball game.
And she's found herself in the broker's office reviewing quarterly returns. How's she doing, Rich?
She's got it all under control. Wait, that's it? But Bob, she hasn't asked about those fees.
Oh, you know, one last thing. How do your fees work?
Oh, what a recovery. This one's not over, folks. She's back in the driver's seat.
Are you asking enough questions about the way your wealth is managed? Wealth Management at Charles Schwab.
Dance with me one more time.
Viagra single packs, so guys with ED can take Viagra when they need it.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension. Your blood pressure could drop to an unsafe level. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra single packs.
I got you a new partner. I've seen guys who were nuts before, but this dude is in a class by himself.
Martin Riggs, we're gonna make a great team.
Lethal Weapon, Wednesdays this fall on Fox.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Samsung and the Galaxy S7 Edge. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Well, Hector Rondon's only career save of 4 or more outs, and this is a 4-out save opportunity for him tonight, came last August against the Giants. Pressed into a little extra duty this evening, and especially when you consider his first ever plate appearance. And here to try to lock down a 1-run game, he'll go to work on the 8-9, then top of the order for the Pirates. Eric Kratz bunting, back to Rondon, and 1 away.
Yeah, the Cubs have blown the fewest leads, 6, and the Pirates have the fewest comebacks, 8. So that's teams going in opposite directions. And the Cubs, as we mentioned, have played more blowout games. That speaks to their run differential. Only 8 and 9 in 1-run games. So you can get to 500 if Rondon holds it down.
Here's John Jaso now. Jaso came on defensively last half inning. Jaso's had an outstanding year, certainly a player that Joe Madden is well familiar with from their Tampa days together. Playing first base for the first time in his career, he took to the position quickly and has not made that position change hurt him at all at the plate. He lays off a pitch on the corner to fall behind 1-2.
Well, one of the hardest things moving forward, the Cubs got everything in, as you would think, with their record way out in front. The hardest thing to do when a Cub team is going to have this kind of lead is look for what improvements you can make down the road. And that's what Theo's going to be looking at. And you could say the bullpen would be their only weakness, so they're going to depend on other teams who fall out of it. And they have the package to make the moves to make that, I call, difference maker. If they get one more arm in the pen, wow, they'd be tough to beat.
Bullpen has held up nicely so far tonight. Jaso sends a flare the other way. Bryant there. And the Bucks are down to their final out tonight. The producer of tonight's game is Pete Macheska. Our director is Matt Gangle. Associate director is Brian Biederman, and the broadcast associates Caden Pfeiffer. Technical director tonight, Zach Jensen. And Monty Mantovani is our technical producer.
Well, here's a man who's caused a little damage of his own. So first pitch, I would think David Ross would like to see a slider here against Mercer.
Jordy Mercer was the biggest problem for John Lester. Rondon paying attention and taking notes. He does throw that first pitch slider for a strike.
I wouldn't mess with any fastball in the inner half of the plate.
Two and one.
2-1 here. I'd even go to his slider again. When you know a guy's seeing the ball pretty good off a fastball, and he's already proven that he can pull the ball down the line for a home run and double, you don't allow this guy to tie it up, that's for sure, even though Harrison's on deck.
You really have to peel back a lot of layers in the stat pack to find something that's not flattering to the Cubs. Their record in one-run games is just 8 and 9. Hector Rondon is a strike away from evening up that number back to 500 and delivering the Cubs their major league leading 46th win of the year. Cubs win. Chicago makes it 2 in a row over the Pirates. Hector Rondon converts on just his second save of 4 outs or more. And again, Chicago improves to a major league best 46-20, 11.5 games better than the next closest in the NL Central.
Well, this was a grind out win for the Cubs. They're used to winning a lot of games by 3 or more runs, but Lester worked in and out of trouble, gave him a chance, and the offense did an unbelievable job of rallying, getting to that 4 mark.
Cubs winners on this Father's Day weekend Saturday. We're back from Wrigley Field right after this.
The U.S. Open continues tomorrow on FS1 and Fox. These youngsters will meet dance phenom Maddie Ziegler.
Congratulations! Thank you!
And their idols, the All-Stars. The excitement might be too much.
I need a nap.
So you think you can dance the next generation. All new Monday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
At the Joseph A. Bank Father's Day sale, all suits and sport coats are on sale. Plus, buy one, get one free. And buy one, get one free on almost everything else in the store. Plus, all shoes are buy one, get one 50% off. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
You're the guy.
They say an old-fashioned is served in a 10-ounce glass with a maraschino cherry and an orange slice. Actually, it's served in a room with a brick fireplace and a deer head mounted on the wall by a waitress named Diane. This is a Wisconsin supper club. When you're having fun, we're having fun.
This 4th of July, Nissan's giving you 1,000 more reasons to celebrate. Choose excitement, capability, safety, and get holiday bonus cash. During Nissan's Free to Choose event, get up to 1,000 holiday bonus cash on top of existing offers, or get 0.9% financing on Rogue. Hurry! Bonus cash ends July 5th. Shop at your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com today.
At the Joseph A. Bank Father's Day sale, all suits and sport coats are on sale. Plus, buy one, get one free. And buy one, get one free on almost everything else in the store. Plus, all shoes are buy one, get one 50% off. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
It's always been the same feeling since day one. The first time I ever stepped onto a field. Taking a touch, passing to a teammate. It has never been just about winning. It's always been about the love of the game. My coach used to say, if I ever stop having fun, I should quit. Well, I'm still having fun.
The Major League Baseball All-Star Game. A celebration of America's pastime. I feel supernatural. Bring it on. All-Star Game. It's gone. Bring it on. The best in baseball is gathered here.
The MLB All-Star Game, July 12th on Fox.
Father's Day, when fathers and sons can bond over the backyard barbecue.
So, Elangulon, how do you like your octoflarg? Medium or well done? Oh, no! Yeah, just be a little bit longer.
Happy Father's Day from Son of Zorn, this fall on Fox.
You're invited. Something's burning. To a Master Chef wedding disaster.
Quiet!
I'm done. All new this Wednesday on Fox.
Cubs beat the Pirates 4-3 at Wrigley Field tonight. Ken Rosenthal standing by with a couple of Cub heroes.
Thanks, Matt. Javier, terrific defensive game at third base. But I want to ask you about your stolen base in the fourth inning. Can you describe what you did with your body to get in there safely?
Well, you know, first of all, I got to think about it before I start running to second base. I'm just reacting to the play. The ball bit me to the bag, so I just try to skip the tag as better as I can.
It worked. Thanks, Javi. David, big caught stealing tonight, squeeze bunt for an RBI, and a home run. In order of importance, how would you rank them?
I mean, I guess, you know, getting on the board, when we get the lead back or tie it up, it was nice to get that bunt down, get a free RBI kind of there. And, you know, Riz and KB took care of those homers, getting us back in the game. And just, you know, trying to put a good at-bat on Nice right there at the end of his day. And, you know, got one up in the air, 3-2. Was nice to get the lead and then go to our bullpen. It was fun. Get Johnny the win, too. That's nice right there as he comes out of the game.
John allowed the leadoff homer to Mercer. Then he walked the bases loaded in the first with one out. What happened there? How did he settle down?
He was just grinding a little bit. I think, you know, just spraying the ball around. I think he was nibbling a little bit, trying to be too fine. The reason for his success as of late was been fastball command. So didn't have that. Wasn't great early on, but grinded through that. Didn't panic. Got a couple. You know, McCutcheon got that one through the right side, gave him a run, and then just that hit Mercer on the foot with the bases loaded. He could almost got out of that. So, you know, clean up a thing here, a thing or two here and there, and he threw a good ball game.
David, thanks very much. Thanks. Matt, back to you.
Kenny, thanks. The Cubs winners to improve to a Major League best 46-20 atop the pack in the NL Central. Hey, a reminder, third round coverage finishes up from the U.S. Open Championship tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern on FS1. And then on FS1, it's final round coverage starting at 11 a.m. Eastern on Fox, or you can watch it all on Fox Sports Go. Next Saturday, baseball returns with a game you can see only on FS1 when the Padres take on the Reds at 3:30 Eastern. Then it's Baseball Night in America on Fox, a showdown between the Dodgers and Pirates, an NL East battle between the Mets and Braves, or the Astros and Royals, a Division Series rematch, all beginning at 7 Eastern on your local Fox station, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Once again, our final score from Wrigley Field, 4-3 Chicago. For Ken Rosenthal and John Smoltz, Matt Vasgersian, thanking you for joining us. So long from Chicago.
Debbie Harry is my headliner, following the BU Ava X.
What if I'm great?
Oh my God, Ava X.
But what if you're not? Oh, stop it.
1, 2, 3.
She's amazing.
I'm moving out. Dude, I'm moving out and I'm moving on.
Johnny, wait, stop.
What?
The only way you're getting famous at this point in your life is if you kill someone famous.
Premieres Thursday, June 30th on FX.
Garbage Time with Katie Nolan, Wednesday midnight on FS1.
Tim Tebow and Mike Holmes. Sometimes when new love is lost,
We're not romantic. Why are you fighting this?
true love is found.
Oh my God.
There's always a surprise.
There is no script. This is love in its purest form.
Uncoupled, Tuesday at 9/8 Central on Fox.
My choice of one of 5 tasty sandwiches and Rallies and Checkers seasoned fries for just $2? That's country club living for a backyard price. Pick a sandwich with seasoned fries for $2. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
What should you do if you have slow Wi-Fi?
Mom, come on. No,
Stop
honey,
using
I'm trying.
Netflix. Give up gaming.
So slow.
Buy the insurance plan. Do all your work
Night, Steve.
at the office. Lock up your Wi-Fi password and kick the kids out. Or just call Mediacom. Mediacom has faster internet and the fastest in-home Wi-Fi. Get more speed today, starting as low as $24.95 a month when bundled. Call 800-SIMPLIFY.
The engagement ring of your dreams is here. An incredible selection of diamond engagement rings at all price points with custom design services. Visit Revell Jewelers, Duck Creek Plaza, Bettendorf.
Right now at Subway restaurants, you can get a delicious foot-long sub made fresh right in front of you with any veggies you want for only $7. The featured footlong for this month is the Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki. Subway, fresh is what we do.
Get approved and driving today. GreenFamilyCredit.com. Apply online. It's easy. It's fast. GreenFamilyCredit.com. No matter your credit situation, you will be approved to drive, guaranteed. GreenFamilyCredit.com. Low credit, low income, no problem. It's 2 easy clicks. 1, apply online in a minute or so. 2, get approved and shopping over 1,500 vehicles available at your fingertips. GreenFamilyCredit.com.
Green, gotta go to green.
5 nights a week, things are gonna get messy. I wasn't finished! And that's just how we like it.
Weekdays at 4:30 and 11:30 on Fox 18.
This new Rallies and Checkers strawberry smoothie is perfect for air conditioning my insides. That's heat-busting goodness for a super chill price. Introducing fruit and cream smoothies and Kool-Aid slushies. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
And now, this is a Fox Fastcast with Chief Meteorologist Andy McCrae.
Lots of sunshine today around the Quad Cities, and our temperatures ended up a little bit warmer than yesterday. Some of us close to 90 today, and we should make it into the 90s tomorrow. Heading out tonight, temperatures are falling from the 80s back down into the 70s, and there's no rain to worry about tonight. Eventually, though, the chance for rain is back in the Quad Cities forecast. My Fox Fastcast does not include any rain. Instead, we'll have clear skies tonight. It does warm up quickly for Father's Day. That chance for rain does arrive within the next few days. I'll have much more about that coming up in about 10 minutes on Fox 18 News at 9.
Live from the Local 4 News Studios. This is Fox 18 News at 9 in high definition.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for Fox 18 News at 9. I'm Ashley Richmond. First on Fox tonight, a beloved Moline man is touching the hearts of thousands of people. You may know Dexter Johnson as Moline High School's super fan. Johnson lost his lawnmower Thursday. It fell out of his truck near Avenue of the Cities. When he realized, he went back to pick it up, and it was gone. His childhood friend started a GoFundMe page to help buy Dexter a new mower, and the money and support raised so far is more than they ever expected.
Hey, Harrison.
Meet Moline superfan.
Right here, Dex.
Dex Johnson is probably the biggest Maroons fan you'll ever meet.
Nice.
Dex graduated from Moline High School in 1972. He's been to a countless number of sporting events.
Since my parents started taking me back in the early 60s or maybe the very late 1950s.
Dex also volunteers by sweeping the court during basketball games at halftime. But just by looking at him at any game, you know he's part of the team.
No, Dex, my arm hurts.
I see.
What are you doing?
Not much.
He's created a special bond with students.
They do this all the time.
Dex says these people mean so much to him.
I guess ever since my parents died, now that I got people to be around with, you know, it kind of helps take up the void spots, too, and make things easy.
On Thursday, Dex lost his lawnmower. It fell out of the back of his pickup truck near 48th Street in Moline.
I tried to come back for it and everything, and I couldn't find it anywhere around there.
That night, Dexter's friend Terrence Christopher, who goes by TC, created a GoFundMe page.
Just started to maybe replace his mower, kind of his hobby. One of the things that Dex likes doing is mowing.
The goal was to raise $1,000. TC says Dexter's GoFundMe page exploded.
I'm so amazed.
Dex has developed his own fan group. Hundreds of people have donated.
Gotta be thankful. It's like a blessing.
Everyone's seen Dexter since the 60s and 70s, and he's still going.
Don't get overheated or anything.
Just like Dexter looks out for students, the students look out for him.
Don't get sunburned.
Right.
Dex says Moline High School and the Quad Cities community will always have a special place in his heart. But he may not know just how many hearts he's actually touched.
I'll bring you with, because when I pitch, I want you there.
Alice King, Fox 18 News.
Such a great story. Just before we went on air tonight, we checked Dexter's GoFundMe page again. It has now raised almost $16,000. The extra money raised will help Dex pay for repairs to his car and home. We've got a link to this story and his GoFundMe on ourquadcities.com. We now know the name of the man whose body was found in an Illinois lake Friday night. The Mercer County coroner says the body found in Sturgeon Bay Lake near New Boston, Illinois, is that of 54-year-old Leroy Robinson. An autopsy was performed in Peoria this afternoon. No word on the official cause of Robinson's death. The coroner says his death does not appear to be suspicious. A woman charged with murdering a Rock Island teen made her first court appearance today. 21-year-old Chelsea Raker is charged with first-degree murder and aiding a fugitive. Investigators say Raker and her friend Kyrie Carr shot and killed 15-year-old Jesse Armstrong in April. Today, Raker was appointed a public attorney. She'll be back in court on Tuesday. People in the Quad Cities are celebrating freedom at the 11th annual Juneteenth Festival today. Juneteenth recognizes the end of slavery. The event is hosted by United Neighbors at LeClaire Park in Davenport. People are enjoying good food, music, and fun, all in the name of being free.
There's not another celebration that we do here in the Quad Cities that really epitomizes that idea, that concept that we have freedoms in this country that other people don't have.
The Juneteenth celebration is an annual event. Fearing water and racing in a triathlon don't usually mix, but today one man conquered that fear at the Quad Cities Triathlon. Joe Moreno, director of the Quad Cities Marathon and many popular area races, learned to swim just in time for the big race. Fox 18's Krista Burris shares his journey from floaties to triathlete.
Many swim for years before taking on a triathlon, but at 59, Joe Marino just took on the sport about 3 months ago.
Better late than never, and I don't regret it.
Joe has been an avid runner for years, directing many popular Quad City races. Joe says he's had a fear of water up until now, but it was just a matter of time before he conquered it.
It was inevitable that I would learn how to swim. I wanted to learn eventually, and I did it.
Joe's family says he's always been active. He's a runner, a biker, and now he can say he's a swimmer.
Oh, I'm excited for him. I'm so proud. I knew he could do it. He was just so nervous. And, I mean, he puts his mind to something, and he can follow through.
Just being around the sport of running, that intertwines with the sport of triathletes.
Joe's granddaughter, Maddie Miller, was there cheering alongside her grandmother. The 12-year-old says she's glad her grandfather finally learned to swim.
Really, it was excited, so I can swim with him now and run with him and do other things with him.
His wife hopes this helps others take on their fears.
I think that anybody can do it if they put their mind to it. I mean, he never thought he would swim.
I hope it inspires others that are in similar situations.
From not being able to swim at all to swimming 600 yards in 12 minutes, leaving his fears behind to cross the finish line. Krista Burris, Fox 18 News.
Joe Moreno wasn't the only person running around the Quad Cities today. Hundreds of people attended the 3rd annual Microbrew Mile and 6K. The races were held in downtown Moline. After the race, runners could head over to the Microbrew Mile Craft Beer Festival.
It's just a fun event. It's a unique event with the mile. We've all ran a mile sometime in our life. Some of us love it, some of us hate it. But for those that hated it, we had the beer factor to it afterwards.
Organizers say this race is one of a kind in the Quad Cities and the Midwest, and I've actually heard that beer is good for you after a race or after you've been running because of the hops. So I don't know if maybe that's just wishful thinking or if there's some truth to that.
Hey, must be true if you've heard it. Did you read that on the internet somewhere?
Yeah.
It's got to be true then. All right, for the people outside running today, at least it wasn't too humid. It was warm, but not too muggy. I think that'll change, though, in the next 24 hours. Here's a look at our temperatures right now. I'll show you our almanac numbers and the forecast when we come back. That's next on Fox 18 News at 9.
Fox 18 is first at 9 with Ashley Richmond, meteorologist Ash Simpson, and sports with Elliot Polikoff. You're watching Fox 18 News at 9 in high definition.
At the Joseph A. Bank Father's Day sale, all suits and sport coats are on sale. Plus, buy one, get one free. And buy one, get one free on almost everything else in the store. Plus, all shoes are buy one, get one 50% off. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
Honda knows that efficiency has its advantages. That's why the Honda CR-V can help you get places using less fuel. Gives you a better view of your surroundings. And helps you stay in touch while you're on the road. The CR-V, from KBB.com's best value brand. Nothing compares to a Honda. Visit your Quad Cities Honda dealer and test drive a Honda today.
Listen up. This is the time, this is the place. And this is Ford F-150, the truck that goes toe-to-toe with your life. Made of high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy that pulled the highest safety rating the government can give. And with Pro Trailer backup assist, it's like having your head on a swivel, pal. So load up your crew. This is the time.
Now, for a limited time, get an F-150 with 0% financing for 60 months. Only at your local Ford dealer.
At the Joseph A. Bank Father's Day sale, all suits and sport coats are on sale. Plus, buy one, get one free. And buy one, get one free on almost everything else in the store. Plus, all shoes are buy one, get one 50% off. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
Today we're going to talk about the all-new 2016 Chevy Cruze, but you're only going to answer me in emoji. So this Cruze has built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi with 24 gigs of data. It also comes with 24 months of Sirius XM satellite radio.
Like word, Chevy. That's the way to go.
Qualified lessees can get this all-new 2016 Chevy Cruze LT with 2 years of Sirius XM radio for around $169 a month.
Make a date with Mike and Molly. Weeknights at 5 on Fox 18. Now, Chief Meteorologist Andy McRae with the Fox 18 local pinpoint forecast.
It was a pretty sunset around the Quad Cities. Here's what it looked like just a little earlier this evening. Some nice colors out there as the sun was setting a little bit after 8:30. And our weather actually pretty decent today. It was warm, but not terribly humid. Now we will add on a little more tomorrow for the temperatures and the humidity, so a little more hot and humid for our Father's Day on Sunday. Right now, though, at the airport, 81 degrees. Winds are out of the east, 6 miles per hour. And we are going from the 80s back down into the 70s tonight. And eventually we'll settle for lows all the way down in the lower 60s, so it'll be a little bit cool late tonight. Sunny again Sunday. Things will be warming up on Sunday as well. High temperatures heading into the lower 90s. And we've had a lot of days in the 90s recently. A couple more hot ones coming up. And then we'll have the chance for rain Monday, and that'll be along a front that'll cool us down a little bit. So we'll go for the lower 90s Sunday and Monday, and then we'll cool down a little bit starting Tuesday. Our Saturday evening temperatures on the warm side, though. A lot of upper 70s and lower 80s on the temperature map. Not a huge difference compared to yesterday, but in most spots, just a very little bit warmer. In the Quad Cities, our temperatures have gone up about a degree over the last 24 hours. And earlier today, some of these numbers here were around 3 or 4 degrees. So again, not a huge jump in the temperatures today, but just a little warmer today. And when we check this out tomorrow, it'll look very similar to the way it's looked today, with most of us adding on another 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 degrees for our high temperatures later in the day. Here's a satellite and radar picture. Very quiet weather around the upper Midwest. Great evening to be out if you're heading out with some friends tonight, or maybe catching a late movie or something like that. It'll be much cooler by the end of the night, but even then we are looking pretty good, and it will be pretty comfortable, so no weather issues to worry about in the Quad Cities tonight. In our Futurecast shows, sunshine hangs around for Sunday, too, for Father's Day. If you're heading out for Father's Day, taking Dad out to lunch, or maybe hitting up one of the golf courses around the Quad Cities, it'll be warmer in the afternoon. Temperatures will be into the lower 90s with some sunshine and a little more humidity. Rain stays away until Monday, and then notice some showers and thunder showers on the map. That'll be that front that will cool us down a little bit for the middle of next week, and we could use a little bit of rain, so if we do pick up some rain Monday into Monday night, that'll be a good thing. Hometown forecast, lows tonight all the way back into the lower 60s for lows. In the Quad Cities, clear skies, comfortable with a low of 62. Tomorrow, a high temperature back into the 90s. It will be hotter than what we had today, 92 for the high. Here's a 7-day forecast now. We're looking at lower 90s next couple of days, and then highs into the 80s next week. So there will be a drop in temperature. Hopefully all the dads around town have a happy Father's Day on Sunday, 92, so it'll be a warm one, and then 90 for the high on Monday, 80s after that. So overall, a couple of hot days coming up, but then we'll be back down close to normal for late June, later next week.
The nice thing about that is, you know, most people's favorite thing to do with Dad is grill or go golfing, so perfect day for it.
Yeah, you know, we had the one rainy day last week. We'll have a little more rain coming up next week, but as far as that goes, nothing to worry about for Father's Day. If you want to do anything outside with Dad, things look pretty good, but it will be just a little bit hot.
Thanks, Andy.
Okay.
Well, still to come, the Cardinals and White Sox both have tough games today. And over at Monarch Woodman Park, the Bandits in action, but they weren't the only ones. Who else still in the spotlight next?
Get a great deal on a sporty and stylish 2016 Toyota Camry. Lease a new 2016 Camry with zero due-it signing and zero first month's payment. Or get 0% APR for 72 months on Camry. Toyota. Let's go places.
Look what I found.
Half-price Saturdays at Goodwill.
That's right. Everything in the store with a selected tag color is half price.
With a deal like this, items are flying off the shelf.
But not to worry, we're always adding new and unique inventory, so there'll be something special to find with every visit.
Best of all, when you shop Goodwill, you'll help create jobs for people who face barriers to independence.
Half-price Saturdays.
Only at Goodwill.
It's the start-to-finish truck sale at your truck destination, Green Chevy. From approval to selection to the lowest prices, everyone is approved. From start to finish, we've got you covered. 800 vehicles available to you, zero financing for 60 months on new. Drive home a new Silverado 2500 and save $9,500. Own an Equinox? Save $11,000. Or save $11,000 on a new Silverado 1500. Own an Equinox? $12,500 in savings. Plus, we finance your future, not your past, at Green Chevy.
Gotta go. The RAV4 has an available bird's eye view camera, and you can get it at a great price. Lease a new 2016 RAV4 with zero due-it signing and zero first month's payment. Or get 0% APR for 60 months on RAV4. Toyota. Let's go places.
Shop with confidence. It's our guarantee at greenfamilyauto.com, your full-course auto source.
3 dealers with 800 pre-driven vehicles.
All with the KBB Price Advisor at greenfamilyauto.com. The Price Advisor report is attached to every vehicle and shows you what you should pay based on current market data. Plus, bring it back in 3 days. If you don't like it, we'll exchange it.
greenfamilyauto.com.
Just a click away at greenfamilyauto.com.
And don't forget, we buy from you even if you don't buy from us.
Green, gotta go. Green Chevy has so many vehicles, we've stocked ourselves into a corner. We must sell them this month at almost any cost to us. At your discount destination, you'll get every available discount, plus additional green cash on new Malibus loaded for $21,995. Own an Equinox? Pay only $24,995. Or get a new Cruise for $17,495. Own an Equinox? Pay only $15,995. We have over 800 available to you only at Green Chevy, where we finance your future, not your past.
Green, gotta go.
Call 800-800-5678. UP and Abraham, right now.
Now, local sports with Elliot Polikoff.
All right, so we already talked about a Quad Cities racing legend that gave triathlons a try for the first time. Awesome job, Joe Moreno. But who actually took home top honors at this year's event? The 17th year of this grueling Quad Cities triathlon that features a 600-yard swim followed by a 15-mile bike ride before finishing with a 5K run. On the men's side, Sean Austin of Ames, Iowa, taking home the title, winning with a time of 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 15 seconds. That was more than 30 seconds ahead of second place. On the women's side, things a little closer as Ankeny's Laura Moeller, a Bettendorf native, though, she was able to hold off Bettendorf's Christina Schmidt to win with a time of 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 1 second. All in all, a great day to be outside and battling everything the course has to offer, especially for those that cross the finish line first.
Elation. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've won a race, and it was great. You got to focus on where your competitors are, and they kept me pushing the whole time. I knew I was within, 15 to 30 seconds at all times in the race, so just keeping that in my mind and focusing on pushing, that was important.
This race is different because it's in my hometown, so it's a little like coming back home again to do this race. I've done this race 2 times in the past, and I've never been this fast on this course, so this is a good year for me.
Congrats to all who participated. That is a lot more than I could ever do. Cardinals in action against the Rangers. Second inning, no score. Yadier Molina with the base hit up the middle. Johnny Peralta scores, and the Redbirds jump out to a 1-0 lead. Fifth inning, St. Louis strikes again. 2 on, 1 out for Colton Wong, and he slaps one that finds its way out to right field. Carlos Martinez scores, and it is 2-0 Cardinals. Still in the 5th inning, Stephen Piscotty at the plate, and he must have known it was Stephen Piscotty bobblehead night at Modern Woman Park because he came through in the clutch. Matt Carpenter scoring off the base hit to right, 3-0 St. Louis. But the Rangers, they score 2 in the 8th. They add 2 more in the 9th. And St. Louis, they fall to Texas 4-3, the final score. How about the White Sox at home against the Indians? And White Sox fans, you might just want to avert your eyes in this one. Bottom of the first, no score. Francisco Lindor hits the ball to shallow right, and Brett Lawrie, his throw is wide. 1-0 Indians. Next batter, Mike Napoli, and he crushes a James Shields pitch to right. James Shields has been absolutely terrible for the White Sox so far. 4-0 Indians, and that's just kind of the way this one went for the Chicago White Sox. They were down big from the get-go almost, and they end up falling 13-2, the final score. Elsewhere in the majors, the Cubs currently trailing the Pirates 2-1 in the third. Clinton on top of Kane County 5-2 that game in the sixth. Elsewhere in the Midwest League, Burlington down to Peoria 8-1, and Cedar Rapids and the River Bandits, they are tied at 2 in the 8th inning. But before the River Bandits game got underway earlier today, a little treat over at Modern Woodmen Park, some vintage baseball. The Somonauk Blue Stockings taking on the DuPage County Plowboys. I heard Ashley Richmond, she is a big Blue Stockings fan. These guys, they play baseball like how it was first played in 1858. You have to pitch underhand, no gloves to catch the ball, and if it's caught on one bounce, it is an out. All kinds of good stuff. And for those involved, there's nothing they'd rather be doing on a Saturday in the summer.
Baseball is a passion. It's something that you have to love, and we do. It is truly the America's game and a game that I've loved for my entire life. We often go to Ohio, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois. We're based out of Illinois area, and we go all over the Midwest playing games.
They're witnessing a game that they probably never seen before, rarely seen. Outs made on one bounce, no sliding, gentlemen talking to each other in a nice manner. It's not your typical baseball they see nowadays. Everybody has fun, no matter win, lose, or draw.
That looks like a lot of fun.
Sandwich, Illinois. I need to visit there. Stick with us. We have more news after the break.
My choice of one of 5 tasty sandwiches and Rallies and Checkers seasoned fries for just $2? That's country club living for a backyard price. Pick a sandwich with seasoned fries for $2. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
Green Buick GMC is bringing you up to speed on the Quad City's best GMC destination. This month only, get $9,500 off MSRP. Just drop in or click in. Over 100 Sierras in stock. The best selection of Buicks and GMCs in the Quad Cities. And drive your new Sierra Denali or SLT Crew Cab with $9,500 off. Or get a new Sierra Double Cab for $379 a month with 0 down. But hurry, when the sale inventory or sale incentives are gone, they're gone at Green Buick GMC. You gotta go to Green.
Green, gotta go to Green. Show your support for our military men and women fighting to protect freedom around the world with a new American flag from Regalia, your patriotic headquarters. Their unique telescoping flagpoles makes it easy to show the stars and stripes, along with the second flag, banner, or support our troop streamers. If you have family members serving overseas, come to Regalia for your Blue Star Service banner or flag. Visit their showroom at 2018 4th Avenue in downtown Rock Island to see the wide array of flags, decals, patches, and lapel pins. Regalia, your flag store, and more.
This new Rallies and Checkers strawberry smoothie is perfect for air conditioning my insides. That's heat-busting goodness for a super chill price. Introducing fruit and cream smoothies and Kool-Aid slushies. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
Get approved and driving today. GreenFamilyCredit.com. Apply online. It's easy. It's fast. GreenFamilyCredit.com. No matter your credit situation, you will be approved to drive, guaranteed. GreenFamilyCredit.com. Low credit, low income, no problem. It's 2 easy clicks. 1, apply online in a minute or so. 2, get approved in shopping over 1,500 vehicles available at your fingertips. GreenFamilyCredit.com.
Green, green, gotta go to Green.
A full hour of the Big Bang Theory, weeknights at 6 on Fox 18.
Local news on your schedule. You're watching Fox 18 News at 9.
International Olympic officials say they're welcoming a sweeping decision to ban Russia's track and field athletes from the upcoming Summer Games in Brazil. This amid a growing scandal over widespread doping in sports. Leaders at Moscow have vowed to fight what they call an injustice. Fox News correspondent Brian Yennis reports.
Never before has an entire nation's Olympic delegation in a sport been outright banned because of doping, but that is exactly what has happened. All of Russia's track and field athletes will be banned from the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro as a result of an unprecedented doping scandal unearthed in November of last year. Finding for years, Russia operated a government-sponsored, widespread doping system for its Olympic athletes. Russia's track and field athletes were suspended from international competition after that damning report report in November. On Saturday, the International Olympic Committee saying it, quote, welcomes and supports Friday's decision by International Association of Athletics Federations, or the IAAF, ruling Russia has not made enough recommended changes to be allowed to participate in the Olympics. The Russian government has always denied that doping was government-sponsored, and now Russian President Vladimir Putin is calling the ban unjust and unfair because Russia's innocent and clean athletes are being punished.
The responsibility must always be the person who committed the offense, and nobody who is not directly involved with the offense should suffer. Therefore, I expect we will speak more to our colleagues from the anti-doping organization.
There is a possibility clean Russian athletes will be allowed to participate in Rio individually, meaning not for Russia. The USA Track and Field supports the ban, saying, quote, the continued suspension of the Russian Federation came after a thorough and fair process. It is the only proper course of action given the compelling and powerful evidence presented to Council. Ultimately, Council chose to act with unanimity and strength to help rebuild the integrity of the sport and the public trust. Russia is expected to find some way to appeal. The IOC meets this Tuesday, and they've hinted more far-reaching punishments could be on the way for Russia. In New York, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
A horrifying discovery in Pennsylvania. Police have removed 12 girls aged 6 months to 18 years old from a man's home. Police say it began when an Amish couple gifted one of their daughters to 51-year-old Lee Kaplan as a thanks for financial support. The girl's father told police he thought it was legal. No birth certificates have been found, and the children were not enrolled in any public school. Police believe Kaplan began a sexual relationship with the oldest girl when she was 14. Now 18, she told police Kaplan is the father of 2 girls. It's unknown if the other children were victims of abuse. They're all now in child protective custody. A neighbor alerted authorities after becoming suspicious. All 3 adults are being held on $1 million bond. Charges include statutory sexual assault and endangering the welfare of a child. Your final forecast is coming up after the break. You're watching Fox 18 News at 9.
Now that buffalo chicken sliders are on the menu, Arby's just became your new favorite sports bar. Especially if you don't like TVs or alcohol. Arby's, we have the meat.
We're all precious in God's eyes. We teach our kids to treat others the way they want to be treated.
When you're the parent of a disabled child, you realize that the world can be a harsh place, but you also realize that it can be a really loving, wonderful place.
When I saw Donald Trump mock somebody who was disabled, I was appalled.
You got to see this guy. I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
It told me everything I need to know about his heart and what he believes deep down.
Priorities USA Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Right now at Subway restaurants, you can get a delicious footlong sub made fresh right in front of you with any veggies you want for only $7. The featured footlong for this month is the sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Subway, fresh is what we do.
Ravel Jewelers, offering unique custom-designed colored stone and diamond jewelry made by hand in the Quad Cities at all price points. Visit Ravel Jewelers, Duck Creek Plaza, Bettendorf.
TMZ. Sometimes the best celebrity stories speak for themselves.
Finally, a delicious pecan chicken salad sandwich, just like Mom used to make. When Mom was the Arby's Employee of the Month. Arby's, we have the meat.
Make a date with Mike and Molly. Weeknights at 5 on Fox 18.
Follow Fox 18 News 24 hours a day on ourquadcities.com.
Good news if you're like me and you don't like 90s. We do have some cool weather coming up, right?
Yes,
Cool-ish for summer, I guess.
I guess the good news is not every day will be in the 90s over the next week, but tomorrow we do get into the lower 90s for Father's Day. Some sunshine, some humidity, some heat, 92. And then we do have the chance for showers and thunderstorms on Monday, and another chance for rain by Wednesday into Thursday. But that rain on Monday should cool us down just a little bit. So a couple days in the 90s, and then we're back down close to normal for the middle of the week.
Looks good to me. I can live with that. It helps with the AC bill.
Yeah.
Or electric.
Always
you
thinking
know
about
me.
them bills. Hey, I'm with her. I get it.
Thanks, Sandy, and thanks for joining us. Have a great night, everyone.
Get a great deal on a sporty and stylish 2016 Toyota Camry. Lease a new 2016 Camry with zero due-it signing and zero first month's payment. Or get 0% APR for 72 months on Camry. Toyota. Let's go places.
Are you the keymaster?
No.
Are you the gatekeeper?
Sorry.
Are you the keymaster?
No. I'm a Ghostbusters fan.
Play the Iowa Lottery's Ghostbusters scratch game and you could capture a top prize of $50,000. If you don't win, play it again for a chance to win cash and merchandise. Play Ghostbusters today.
Woohoo! You're gonna call.
Dogs are always welcome in Wisconsin, and if they want, they can bring their people too.
Switch to Mediacom and get the whole package for less. Faster internet.
It's fast, it's reliable, and I'm really happy with it.
I would absolutely never go back to DSL.
Better features like TiVo DVR.
I love our TiVo because it's so easy to find all the shows that we want to watch.
Plus no contract. Get Mediacom internet, TV, and phone for as low as $24.95 each a month for a year. Plus, ask about free DVR service. Call 800-SIMPLIFY for details.
The RAV4 has an available bird's eye view camera, and you can get it at a great price. Lease a new 2016 RAV4 with zero due-it signing and zero first month's payment. Or get 0% APR for 60 months on RAV4. Toyota. Let's go places.
My choice of one of 5 tasty sandwiches and Rallies and Checkers seasoned fries for just $2? That's country club living for a backyard price. Pick a sandwich with seasoned fries for $2. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
I would recommend the telescopic flagpole. It's very simple to use. Just a couple buttons, and it takes 5 minutes tops to change the flags out. It's very quiet. I don't hear it when the wind blows and the flags fly different directions. I don't hear a thing. I have a solar light on the top, and then I also have lights on the bottom that shine up because I really want